So in this video, I'm going to go over how to find your range, standard deviation, mean, median, mode, and then how to graph with these data points. So I'm going to go ahead and start with range. The range, I'm just going to use the column of A, so this column right here that I just clicked. So there's multiple different ways that you can do it. One way is that you can do equals max, and then I'm just going to click that and it's going to give me my maximum value. And then the next part of it is you want your minimum, because to find your range it's the maximum value minus the minimum value. So you're going to type in min, and then you can again click your A here, and then it'll give you what the lowest value is. Now the beauty of this is that I just did these in two separate cells, so you can do equals. You can click the cells like that. You can do equals, and then you can type in the numbers yourselves. 3534.25, and then minus 298.05. You can get the answer that way. The other thing you can do is do equals. You want your max value first, so max of your range, minus the minimum value second, so the minimum value of your range, and then you still get the same answer. So rather than doing it in 3 cells or 2 cells, you can do it like that. The other way you can do it, which I've seen people do, this isn't my favorite way to do it, but you can, but there's a way to sort by ascending or sort by descending. So if you sort by the ascending, you get your minimum value as your first value right here. If you sort by ascending or descending like that, you get your highest value as the first block here in A1. So I'm going to redo this so it's back to where it was at the beginning. So your standard deviation, you're going to do equals STDEV. I just use STDEV. Some professors will use the P or the S. The P is if you have a population given. So if you're like, this is the population data, then that's what you use. Your S is your sample. So if you're given a sample of data, that's what you would use. So most of the time, I'm pretty sure it's .S. I don't usually use anything. But it's kind of up to the professor, and it usually gives you the same number. I'll do it with this one, and then I'll do it with the others. So again, just click your data. I usually just click the A up here. If you want B, you can click the B. I click the A. We're just doing A right now, so we can leave it there. Hit enter. There's your standard deviation. Super easy. You're not typing in a huge long formula. You just have to type in a few letters and click the data that you need. If you need to, you can list out the data, but it's not necessary. So if we do STDEV, we'll do .S this time. So then, like I said, you can do comma separated. So I could do A1, comma this, comma this. I don't, since I'm using that entire column of data, I'm just going to click A and then close my parentheses. And then, like I said, you get the same answer. So, we'll try it again with the P and click data. Like I said, the population is going to be a little bit different because it's assuming that it's an entire population. So it's like saying that I've surveyed the entire population of MVNU. So I've surveyed faculty, staff, students, everything, literally. So you usually won't use that one. You usually use the S, or just standard deviation without the S. So your mean, just think, there's something specific with this one that I don't remember now. I mean, your mean is just all of your data added together divided by however many there is. So you can do this multiple different ways. You can do the sum. This is how I would do it. Well, part of what it would do. I'm going to elongate it and then I'll put it into one for you. So add them all together. And then the next part of it is you want to divide by how many there is. Now you can scroll down, 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 and see that I have 80 points of data. The other way to do this is to do count, and then I'll count how many data points I have. It's going to tell me I have 80. So then you can just click them, and I'm dividing, so I can just click and divide, and click the right ones, like that. You can also do it into one like we've done before. So we can do the sum of all of your data divided by count the number that is there. And you'll get the same thing. This one's just pulled out a little bit longer, so there's more decimal places, and this one has a little less decimal places, but it's just fine. It's the same thing. Your mode is the most, so just type in mode, click, and it'll tell you the one that shows up the most. It's pretty self-explanatory. So median, you can just literally type it in, click the data set, tells you what the middle point is. Super nice, super easy. So your graphing is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to go to insert. Okay, so I have charts here. So here's my chart stuff. So this is the different things that I have for charts. First thing you want to do though is you want to highlight. So I can highlight both of those. So I've highlighted A and B. So I just click this A, and then I click Shift and then hit my right arrow, and now I've got all of B highlighted. So I can scroll on forever and it's always going to be highlighted. So we're going to do a chart, and let's do a bar graph. So you have your different bar graphs right here. So let me see here. So it has it separated into categories. This one, bar graphs aren't really going to be useful for this kind of problem, but they're all right here. Line graphs probably would be better. I'm not really sure why it's giving me 3 line graphs here, but so probably just examples. So if I click this one, let's put this one in, and it charts the line graph for me. So it's charting, not really sure how it's charting this, but that's how you would do it. You highlight your data. So don't want that. If we go back to insert, and then your charts. So if we do a scatter plot, here's your scatter plots. Histograms, so you're gonna want your histograms for sure. So here's your histograms, and it has your data, it's all together. You do histograms a lot. So the difference between your histogram and your bar graph, your bar graphs have separated between the bars. Your histograms touch like from left to right, and they're in intervals, much like the bar graphs, but bar graphs are usually used for categories rather than just straight numbers like this. So we can go back. Nope, not drawn. Okay, there we go. Charts. So there's the other charts for you. You could go to others, and it'll show you some other things that you can do with it. It has recommended charts that you might want to use. So there's your graphs. Yeah, so hopefully this video was helpful. My next video I'm going to do is on how to calculate your grades. It'll just be a little bit more on how to use your functions that I've already shown you, and who knows, you can take this and use it for your classes that you're in and calculate your grades before midterms or even finals, and then you kind of know what's going on in your class and what you need to keep up with and do well in.